Hi everyone. So today I would like to share with you some of the topics that I've been discussing with my students in lectures. So one of the keywords of our discussion is position. So what is position? So literally it means that where you're at, right? So actually it also could be like perspective. What's your perspective on certain concept? So what shapes your perspective is actually your background, your family relationship, your childhood, and all your life experience, right? So position is quite important because it represents us. It shows our values, especially when it comes to communication, right? So when we communicate with each other, we share our opinions, and people gets to know us, and we get to know others. And what's very important actually in communication, I think it's listening, because there's a quote saying that it takes us just 1 year to learn how to speak, but it takes us like a lifelong time to learn how to listen, right? So listening is quite important and difficult, especially when we talk about communication. We must be able to listen to others. So that's why it's so important. But how to listen? Well, to me, actually, listening contains 3 different layers. The first one is listening to yourself. So for example, sometimes you're not feeling comfortable, you're so tired, and actually your body is telling you to go to sleep or to have a rest, right? But you don't listen to your body, you don't listen to your feelings. And so you keep working, and day by day, and then one day you just end up at hospital, right? It's really a disaster. So that's very important for us to understand ourselves, to listen to ourselves. Like what's in Taoism, it says that if you are able to know others, well, you're smart. But if you're able to know yourself, you're a wise person, right? So it's very important to know yourself by listening to your own feelings. When you're not feeling comfortable, you should do something to adjust to that or change it, right? And the second layer of listening is to listen to others, right? When we talk to others, we don't necessarily have exactly the same experience like others have, but we need to try our best to show our first respect and to be empathizing as much as possible, so that people can communicate with us. And by listening, people will feel that we're willingly to communicate with them. And so it will help a lot for communication, for better and healthier communication, right? And so the third layer of listening would be listening to the nature or the cosmos or the new universe. It's very important because we are part of the nature. Human beings come from part of the nature, but somehow we get this connection weakened. Okay, so for example, in a tsunami, what happens is that the animals run towards the top of the hills because they receive the signal from the nature that, okay, there is a tsunami, so they run off to the top of the hills. So they were able to survive. But look at what human beings did. Human beings were not able to receive the signal from the nature, and so they got buried with a flood. That's it. And so it's a disaster. So actually I believe that as human beings, we are part of the nature, so we actually have the connection with the nature. But somehow, because of the modern technologies, I'm not saying technology is not good. Technology does provide a lot of convenience and a lot of good things for our life, right? But somehow we also get distracted, right? So for example, every day we're scrolling our cell phones. That's the first thing we do when we wake up. And also that's the last thing we do before we go to bed, right? And we always get distracted by the messages. We're always checking our cell phones to see if there's anyone sending us a message. We always get our attention distracted, and we forgot that we're part of the nature. We need to connect or reconnect with the nature. And so somehow we lost the valuable part that we have from the nature. And so that's why it's very important, because if we are able to listen to the nature, we're able to find the peace in our mind naturally. Okay, so it's very important. So that's why a lot of people are doing meditations, because that's a moment you can feel the quiet, you can feel the connection that you have with the universe. So these are the 3 layers of listening. So after the listening, actually, it leads us to healthy relationships. So we are all building relationships in our lives every day. Okay, so I really like this quote from a chapter that I read recently. Okay, so I'm gonna finding it. Okay, so searching. I have it in my notebook.
2 weeks later.
The title of the book is Researcher's Ceremony. Okay, so the quote is like this. Imagine that you're a single point of light. Another point of light becomes visible somewhere off in the distance. You form a relationship with the other point of light. Now, another point of light is visible off in another direction. And again, you develop a relationship and with another and another and another light point. And a web of a relationship just got formed and it's growing. Okay, so this is a quote from the book. And I found it's very interesting because we are all building relationships every day with different people. And so if we are able to listening, and it's much likely possible that we are able to build a healthier relationship with others, right? And so the web of our relationship getting healthier and bigger, and it's growing. And that's very important. And so, which means that if we are able to build a healthier relationship, it means that we have a better empathy. We are able to respect, and we know how to respect each other, right? So sometimes we know that we need to respect each other, but without listening, we don't know how to respect others. Okay, we cannot just respect others according to our personal point of view, but through the actual listening, that get to know what situation or what position the other person is at, right? So that's very important. So after we recognize our position, and through listening, okay, listening to ourselves and listening to others and listening to the nature, we're able to build a healthy relationship with ourselves, with the others, and with the nature, the universe. And then our position gets leveled up to a wider or bigger circumstance. And so our point of view gets broadened, and it's very, very important, right? Our position is different from previous, and it's still position, but different. Okay, so this is what I want to share with you. And so see you next time.